Firefighting, deadly. Crab fishing, brutal. But now, let's take the danger underwater, where thousands of volts of electricity meet the crushing pressure of the deep. Welcome to the world of underwater welding, a job so dangerous that some call it the suicide trade. Imagine welding metal while floating in complete darkness, your body compressed by thousands of pounds of water pressure, and the only thing keeping you alive? A tube pumping air into your helmet. That's underwater welding. These workers repair pipelines, oil rigs, and ship hulls in some of the most inhospitable conditions on Earth. These welders are the unseen backbone of offshore oil rigs, bridges, and naval structures. No degree? No problem. If you've got the skill and nerves of steel, you can make over $1,000 a year. But here's the catch. You might not live long enough to spend it. So, how do they actually weld underwater? Well, there are two types of underwater welding: wet welding and dry welding. In dry welding, divers are sealed inside a special hyperbaric chamber, keeping the welding site dry. This is safer, but expensive. Then there's wet welding, where you're literally welding in the water, with electricity flowing all around you. Yes, you heard that right. You're using electricity in the water, and if anything goes wrong, that's a one-way ticket to an electric funeral. Underwater welders face several ways to die, and each one is more terrifying than the last. The bends is every diver's worst nightmare. When you rise too quickly, the pressure shift causes nitrogen bubbles to expand in your blood, blocking arteries, damaging nerves, and even paralyzing you. Some divers never make it back to the surface alive. One mistake, and your body can literally tear itself apart from the inside. In February 2022, a tragic underwater welding accident occurred in Trinidad and Tobago, resulting in the deaths of 4 divers. On February 25, 5 professional divers employed by LMCS were conducting routine maintenance on an oil pipeline for Perry, a fuel trading company, near Pointe-à-Pierre. During their work at a depth of approximately 18 meters, the divers were sucked into a 30-inch underwater pipeline due to a sudden differential pressure event. One diver, Christopher Boudram, managed to escape after a harrowing 3-hour ordeal inside the pipe, but the other 4, Kazim Ali Jr., Faisal Kurban, Yusuf Henry, and Rishi Nagasser, tragically lost their lives. The incident prompted widespread criticism of Perry, a fuel trading company, and the emergency response teams for their handling of the rescue operations. Reports indicated that immediate rescue efforts were hindered, and external attempts to assist were blocked due to safety protocol concerns. A subsequent commission of inquiry found that Perry's negligence could be characterized as gross and potentially criminal, recommending that the Director of Public Prosecutions consider charging the company with corporate manslaughter. This tragedy underscored the critical importance of stringent safety measures and emergency preparedness in underwater industrial operations. The ocean doesn't forgive mistakes. And for underwater welders, one spark in the wrong place can mean the difference between a paycheck and a body bag. So why would anyone take this job? The thing is, someone has to do it for our society to function. Some of the best underwater welders can make over $300,000 a year, but they know the risks. They know that every time they drop into the water, it could be their last. It takes a special kind of person to face the deep, knowing that the ocean is always watching, always waiting. And for those who dare, the rewards and the risks are unmatched. But welding underwater isn't the only extreme trade out there. What happens when you take the heat to the surface? Next up, one of the most intense jobs on Earth: